G'day guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm David. Today, new little tree. Not really new. I've been growing it from a little tube stock for probably the last 2 years or so. Like most people in the hobby, I bought just tons of little tube stock plants with no idea on how any of them were going to grow here or what they'd look like as a bonsai. This one I've never seen anybody grow it before, but the tag says it's a scrub myrtle, Cadellia pentastylis. Don't really know too much about it. It's meant to grow to like 10 meters in the wild. But what I have noticed, it grows in this really cool zigzag pattern. Like all the branches, at every leaf, the branch takes a turn and they grow in this cool zigzag pattern. Which means there are no real straight branches on it. And it'll do that forever. So it'll always have cool movement to the trunk, to the branches, I think anyway. It seems to be very hardy. Should be able to wire it fairly well. I reckon it'll ramify pretty well too. So yeah, I kind of like this one. So today I'm going to get it out of the pot, take the soil off it and get it into a bonsai pot. I've got a heap of different pots here. They're all cheap, crappy pots, so none of them are really great, but try and find one that sort of suits it okay. I'd rather a pot that was a little bit on the big side, because I would like this thing to keep growing for a bit yet. But maybe it might look cool as a small tree too, so not real sure where we're going with it, but we're just going to get it out of the pot and have a look, see what we can do with it. Grab the camera and bring you up close. You might be able to see the zigzag pattern of it. I mean, it's not a super pronounced zigzag, but at every branch, that one there will probably show it, if you can see it. There's a change in direction at every leaf, which is pretty cool. I have no idea how hardy these are going to be when you start playing with the roots. No clue, because I haven't done anything with this except for slip pot it as it needed it. Apart from that, I haven't touched it, so first thing I notice, it's got this split in the trunk here. Could be cool, might not be, I don't know. Maybe that would fill in over time, not sure. But on this one here, the main root on that one goes right around in a big circle, which is not really desirable. I'm going to take a punt and say, because that's on the smaller part of the trunk, it's not going to contain the majority of roots, and I'm going to cut it off. Like all knotted up everywhere. There we go. Take that back to there. It is a bit strange looking, but we may choose to make that a bit of a feature maybe. Maybe that'll fill in as those two grow. Maybe that'll all close in and become a nice buttressed trunk maybe. Not really on the side of the tree that I'd hoped was the front. It sort of looks a lot better on the upper part of the tree from here. There's a lot of branch structure you can see in the trunk structure. From this side, not so much, but I think that would also work. You've got a nice curve here and then it curves back up. Some branch here. It's sort of heading out that way. Plenty of branches to choose from. I don't know how well this back buds if I cut it back because I've never really done much with it. But I think initially we probably need to get it into a pot. I had initially thought this one. I know it's quite a large pot for the tree, but like I said, I do want this to grow a fair bit yet. It's a big blocky pot though. You could go with something a little oval. Or a little bit light in colour for it maybe. It is meant to get cream coloured flowers I think, according to the tag. Cream yellow flowers, so something like that may suit come flowering time. That might be a little bit small. I probably don't mind that for how the tree is now, size wise, but I'm not sure. Maybe that pot's a little bit more rounded. It's got a fair bit of size about it still, so gives it plenty of room to grow. And I do like either this pot or this pot as a choice because these are the only two with tie down holes and I know it's going to need tying down. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Kind of doesn't look too bad in that pot actually. We might go with the bigger of the two to give it some room. Righto, we'll get the pot prepped up and I'll be back in a minute. Rightio. Get the magic bucket of potting mix. I think we will leave the side as the front that has the fork in the roots, and hopefully that'll fill in over time and that should give us a nice buttressed base, which would be pretty cool. I reckon we'll leave it on a bit of a lean like that and we'll go with that for now. We'll just grab some water for this tree because that mix is pretty dry. I do like to get some water on them as soon as I can. Good old home brew bottle. Probably a bit of leftover mead or something in it. Hopefully the tree won't mind. Just give it a good bit of water just to make sure it doesn't dry out too much. Just don't want those roots drying right out. Right, will we do anything at the top of the tree? Possibly. Possibly. I reckon some of this lower stuff can go because we want to try and show off that trunk. Got this good branch coming out the front here, which may not be totally ideal, but I'll leave that there for now. Might leave this one here too. It's growing more out the side. We may choose to use that. It's quite congested in some of these areas. We don't want too many branches from one spot, otherwise end up with a big lumpy trunk, or lumps where we don't want them anyway. One of these up the top here is probably in a good position to grow back towards the centre of the tree. We'll probably use that, might use that as the new leader. Leave a couple of these other ones. I don't want to trim it back too much. Leave it with a bit of foliage to power it on as it recovers. Just trim a couple of them back. Depends which side we end up using for the front, really, doesn't it? We could probably stand that up a little more. That's an adjustment we can make later on. Be interested to see how this one recovers. Whether this prune makes it shoot more shoots from the trunk. Most of the stuff I do play with, like your Melaleucas and Callistemons, you give them a hard prune and they just shoot from everywhere. But I know not all trees are like that, so. Righto, we might leave this one there, I think. I think I like that side better as the front. In which case a lot of this will get pruned back a little more, just to allow you to see that trunk line a bit more. But for now, let him go, let him glow, let him grow. Scrub Myrtle. Hopefully he'll recover well and he'll grow into something nice. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.